That is actually very impressive. This guy's played like one game and he's won it, so he's 100%. He's actually got the best win rate in Pro League as far as I know. I don't think even Flash is 100%. Anyway, I just realized something, that maybe this is like the future of advertising, because you know like right now, all these companies, all these esports companies are finding more and more ways to put ads everywhere, like they start putting their logos on the actual game maps. So like I saw a version of Antigua where like in the middle there's like some sponsor ad, or like on the Dota 2 maps you can put like sponsor logos on the flags or whatever, on the banners. I actually didn't see what race Arya is. Is he Protoss? Is this a PvP? I think he's Protoss. Anyway, so I think this is actually the future. So from now on, we can actually put an ad on Stork's forehead. Look at how much space there is right there. You could put a lot of sponsors on Stork's forehead, and it would be fantastic, because I mean, all the fangirls, they're just staring at Stork all day long. So that's like fantastic. I mean, if you just compare it to Arya's forehead, right? Arya's forehead is all covered by his Bieber haircut, so that's a little bit troublesome. So you just need to get a few of your like high-profile players to get the Stork haircut, and that'd be pretty sweet. E.g., I'm looking at you. You guys don't have Bieber haircuts. Go! I want an Intel logo on InControl's forehead when he like casts the next event that he does. Alright, spawning as the red Protoss in the top right, we will have Samsung Khan's Stork, and in the bottom left. Does Stork not realize he looks a little bit silly with that haircut? I don't know, has just nobody told him? Are people just afraid that they'll like bring down the wrath of the Dino Toss if they tell him that he looks a little bit silly? Maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm just being overly mean. I mean, to be fair, it's not like I have an amazingly cool haircut or anything either. I actually really need a haircut. I tried to go to the barbers yesterday, but they were closed. I was very sad. Anyway, we are on Cloud Kingdom. Watching Stork play against some random guy. Yeah, what's up? Woo! Oh, what does the sign say? Stork fighting! Yes! Yes! That man knows what he's talking about. Stork fighting indeed. So, looks like we have slightly faster gateway actually from Arya. Stork just going for the 13 gate. Was that a 12 gate from Arya? Presumably it was, given that it's a little bit ahead. He's getting his gas slightly faster as well. And Arya actually checking the inside of his main there for any kind of proxies. You can see there he just gave himself vision of the top right area. And it looks, judging from the minimap, like Stork might have poked around and done the same as well. Does not want to get cheesed out. I'm perhaps slightly surprised that Arya would think that Stork would proxy gate him. But I guess better safe than sorry, and it doesn't really hurt to just send your probe out just on a slight detour. Just lose like 1 second or something on the travel time. But anyway, we have fairly mirrored builds here otherwise. And there's Oops January, who's on the same clan as Reach. I can't believe it. I mean, like, no wonder. See, I could just sense the awesomeness from her. I need to find what other players were on Oops actually. I bet they're all awesome guys. I mean, if Reach and January were on Oops, it's gotta be like one of the coolest clans ever. Anyway, second gas now taken by Arya, and ooh, look at this! Arya's probe is actually running around the geyser here. I believe this prevents Stork from actually building an assimilator there. Ah, that's so cute! Look at that! I don't actually know if Stork wanted to build an assimilator anyway, but he won't be able to now. Okay, now he can build it. Oh, that is really cute. I think it's the first time I've seen that. That's quite clever. What a cutie, Arya. That is actually really cool. And like he didn't even have it on like a shift move. You could tell, just you could see all the clicks there. He was actually manually just spamming right click on that probe just to keep it stuck on the geyser. That is quite cool. So now Stork's second gas is super delayed compared to Arya's. So I'm not sure what Stork's original plan was for his build, but whatever it is, he's definitely going to have to change it up here, given that he's going to be short on gas. Looks like he does manage to take down Arya's probe though with his Stalker. Arya meanwhile has actually gone for a very quick robo here, whereas on the other side we do see a Twilight Council from Stork. So Blink versus robo here, or presumably Blink. And this is going to be very interesting. I mean, you know, usually people say that in the rock paper scissors of PvP, even though I don't quite agree with that it is rock paper scissors, but generally people say, you know, robo builds beat blink builds. You just get those immortals out, and the blink stalkers are just very sad. But I think on this map it's a lot less clear cut compared to maybe some other maps, because there's so much area to blink into the main on this map that it's really, there's like a lot of options for the blinking player. I mean, we have seen some pretty crazy base trades on this map in Pro League, in fact, where it was blink versus robo, and I believe the blinking player generally won those because they were slightly better at the base trades, and they just like, I remember a pretty crazy game on this map between I think Gwemchi and somebody, where the blinking guy actually got a hidden expansion as well, and just managed to take the game that way. Anyway, looks like there is the first proxy pylon from Stork. Gonna be able to warp in his stalkers right at the front. And he's getting a robo as well, of course, because he wants the observer, so he can have a look on the high ground and blink into his opponent's main. The first observer from what's his face? Bleh. Arya is getting in here immediately though, so is going to know exactly what Stork's going for. So he's probably going to start chronoing out those immortals double time. He's already got one out, as well as 3 stalkers and a couple of zealots and sentries. And looks like adding a 3rd gateway as well now. I'm going to kill that one probe. That's actually quite important though. So Stork's probe, even though it didn't get into the base there, he did see the immortal from Arya, so he's gonna know that he has to be a little bit careful with these stalkers. Doesn't want to do like a bad blink and get caught by these 2 immortals, otherwise he could just lose a whole bunch of stalkers. And he's moving now to the front. Of course, his observer isn't quite over here yet, so he can't blink into the main, but he's just gonna poke in the front here, maybe try and pick off a unit and then blink back. Ooh, he's gonna try and maybe grab a zealot. He's gotta be careful. Oh, doing some blink micro there. I think, did he get one zealot? I think he did get one zealot. I think he did. But taking quite a bit of damage on those stalkers as well, so has to be very careful here. And I mean, this is actually interesting. So Arya's taking an expansion here, and this could be quite risky because look at this. Stork can easily just blink into the main here, pick off a pylon, pick off a couple of probes, and then blink out again. Looks like he's gonna grab that one zealot that warps in for free. He might grab a stalker as well, but he has to blink out right now. Boom. He's actually using the shift click blinking method. I don't know, is there like an actual name for that? Where you oh. Well, I thought he might poke in here again, but there's one immortal there. It looks like Stork is going to target it down. Very nicely done here. Grabs the immortal for free and grabs a stalker as well, but he's got a few really damaged stalkers here. Can he blink them back? There's the death zoom in on Arya here. Still got a couple of immortals, but taking this expansion is really taxing his multitask. Stork is just pulling his army every which way here, and look at this. Arya has actually divided his forces, almost like what you might do like in a PvZ when, you know, you're trying to split your attention between your natural and your 3rd when the opponent's going for roaches. In this case, it's Arya splitting his attention between his main and his natural here against these stalkers, but that's making his immortals very vulnerable, since, you know, both sides are very small here. But coming back to this point about this shift-clicked blink style, I have heard a lot of like commentators and high-level pro say that actually when you're doing this kind of blink play, you really shouldn't use that shift-click method. You should just, you know, clump up all your stalkers on the edge and then do one blink out, because this kind of blink method can be kind of risky. You know, you don't actually know, you know, you're, oh my goodness, Stork actually getting a few of these stalkers actually run back there. I guess their blink must have been on cooldown, and I think that exactly exemplifies my point there, where if you just use the shift click blink method, you can sometimes just have just lose some stalkers, because, you know, you're sacrificing a little bit of control. You're basically leaving it up to the AI to kind of control the stalkers for you, instead of just manually, you know, doing the blink yourself, which is obviously not ideal. Anyway, looks like Stork's just going to poke in here once again. But he did lose a bunch of stalkers there, which was just limiting his ability to be aggressive. But he has also kept the immortal count low here. Still only 2 immortals for Arya, and only 1 stalker as well. So or at least on the low ground there. It looks like there's another Immortal and another Stalker, a couple of Stalkers in the main. 4 Immortals out in total, but look at this. While all this was going on, Stork did get his own expansion. He's starting to get his own Immortals out of his Robo and just continuing to pick off free units here, just getting what free stuff he can. He's got to be a little bit careful now, because now it looks like both sides, both armies in the main and the natural for Arya are strong enough to take on those Stalkers. So Stork just, should try and pick off what free things he can, but not overcommit with these Stalkers. Just keep his opponent pinned while he gets up his own tech and whatnot. 5 Immortals out in total, actually. A lot of Immortals for Arya here. It's going to be very, very scary for Stork. I don't really think Stork can do too much more now with these Blink Stalkers. And I don't think he needs to. I think he has done enough damage here. He has bought, enough time for his expansion to get up. It'd be interesting to see the worker count comparison now. I'd imagine it's fairly similar. I mean, the supply counts right now are fairly similar. Stork's actually quite a bit. Actually, no, never mind. Stork now jumping ahead suddenly. 95 supply to 84 supply of Arya, and Stork is also getting his. Well, actually, both players actually getting their robotics bay at exactly the same time there. If you look on the production tab, both players also getting their 4th gas at about the same time. And yeah, so this is going to be quite interesting. A fairly even game, but Stork's slightly ahead in supply, but Arya's slightly ahead on the Immortal account. He's at 6 Immortals actually to 3. So that's going to be quite important, once you get to the later game. Like the Stalkers don't really scale particularly well going into late game PvP. They're not quite as useful going into the late game big Colossus, Zealot, Archon, Immortal engagements. Notice that Stalker is not really part of that composition. So having these additional Immortals is actually going to be a lot more helpful going to the late game. But Stork is able to pick off 1 there. Very well done there. Didn't actually lost. How many? Did he even lose a Stalker there? I'm not sure, but very nice micro there from Stork. And trading away these Stalkers for Immortals, I think is absolutely correct in this decision, in this situation anyway. So even if he loses a couple of Stalkers there, I think that's completely fine. Anyway, looks like +1 attack on the way for Stork, as well as the first Colossus. I think they're showing us the resources lost tab there. As you can see, clearly more stuff lost by Arya, but he also got his expansion up faster, so that's why it evens out. And so, interestingly, Arya's actually not getting extended thermal lance right now. I don't know if he just forgot or what, but I mean, both players got their Robo Bay at about the same time. Okay, yeah, he's just started now. So look at this. Stork's extended thermal lance is already over halfway done, and it's only just started now for Arya. So Stork might have a timing window here where he can actually attack with range while his opponent doesn't have range. But obviously, I don't think there's any real way for him to know that his range is so much faster. So he probably won't try to hit any kind of timing here. But it's just interesting to see that that's happened. And you know what? It's probably a good idea actually from Arya now that I think about it, because if you're not trying to hit any kind of timing, like if Stork doesn't make use of his faster range, then there was really no point in getting it faster anyway. So delaying your range slightly, knowing that your opponent's not really going to attack you anytime soon, allows you to get other things like, oh, looks like that sentry does get picked off. But it allows you to get maybe your second Colossus a little bit faster, or save a little bit of money, make a Nexus or something like that. As we can see, Arya's actually got his 3rd Nexus just now planted, and Stork has a probe in position as well. Looks like Stork going up to 6 gateways versus the 5 warp gates of his opponent. Meanwhile, interestingly, another difference though is that Stork also has gotten charge, so his charge is just finishing up now, because of course he had the Twilight Council from very early on in the game due to his blink opening, whereas the Twilight Council has only just been built for what's his face, the Arya. So he's not going to have those upgrades for a little while, and of course he needs to wait for that to finish for his +2 weapons upgrade as well. But otherwise, both players now going to be a little bit more passive. Of course, with these Colossus out, it's going to be even more difficult for Stork to make anything happen with those Blink Stalkers, with those ranged Colossus able to shoot them from so far away. And you can see he's kind of poking around here, but really kind of very nervously, like does not want to get caught anywhere. He's going to kind of poke up here towards the main, and actually it looks like Stork manages to just run straight into the main here. Oh my goodness, he's going to target down this Robo. He might actually get it before the Colossus pops out here. He is going to get one of the Robos here. Arya, though, does have a second Robo in the base, and Stork might have just lost all of these Stalkers here. Oh my goodness, those Stalkers getting caught, but Stork moving the rest of his army into the 3rd base here. He might be able to snipe the 3rd. The Stalkers in the main base still causing some damage here, and they might be able to actually blink out on the other side here. That 3rd base is definitely going down. No, it looks like the Stalkers are just going to sit in the corner there, get taken down by these Zealots, but that did give Stork the opportunity to take down this base, but was it worth it though? Stork lost a lot of stalkers there. That was at least, 12, 13 stalkers, and it looks like Stork is actually just going to engage here. I'm not sure if that's the best idea considering he just lost a good portion of his army, and nice micro, nice control by Arya there, pulling all the zealots back, and Stork actually definitely has to run away here. He's behind on the army count. He's now the one trying to do this nice scoot and shoot with the Colossi, but Stork, I am not sure I agree with the decision to actually engage here after taking down the third. I really feel like it would have been better if he just pulled back after killing it, knowing that his own third was going up, but it looks like actually the engagement is going to be very close, and actually it looks like Stork might be okay here. He's got 5 Colossus against 4, but there's one Immortal there as well, and a couple of zealots in the front. It looks like Stork is going to have to back up here. There's just such an intense micro war. It looks like it might just be an even trade here, 2 Colossus apiece, but no, another warpin of zealots for Stork, and he will be able to push back these 2 Colossi. His third base is finished, but he's not mining from it just yet, but he is going to be able to catch this last Colossi. Maybe he does have charge on the zealots. No, he doesn't quite catch the last Colossi, but continuing to push Arya back here, and just having sniped the third base, having killed one of those robos, really hindering the Colossus production of his opponent. And Archon, though, now out for Arya. It looks like Stork actually going to use Arya's own high ground against him. And oh, nice little blink onto the high ground with those stalkers just to protect them from those zealots and the Archon. But it looks like Stork is going to have to pull back now. But he has transferred some probes over to his third base, so he is now mining on 3 bases against the 2 bases of Arya. Arya sees this with the Observer. I think this might actually force Arya just to commit to an attack now. I don't think expanding from behind here is really going to do it for him. Probably is just going to have to go, but I'm not sure what he can do here. He's facing the 2 robo production of Stork. I mean, Stork's infrastructure is now actually better with that second robo, and he's had 1 extra gateway the whole time as well. Looks like, no, Arya is actually going to expand from behind, but I don't understand how he can imagine he's going to come back now with his expansion just started and Stork already mining away happily from his own. Looks like one zealot going to come in here to harass the probes. The Observer showing us that +2 attack is done for Stork, whereas only +1 attack is done for Arya here. And oh, look at this! Cute little probe micro. He does lose 1 probe, but now getting a cannon there to help defend. Looks like the one advantage that Arya has is that he's actually got some Archons here, but oh, well, I guess he's not going to have that advantage anymore. Stork now going to get his own Archons with that Templar Archive finished, but yeah, so now this is looking increasingly grim for Arya. He's down 20-something supply. He's down on upgrades. The tech is basically the same. A couple of more zealots going to come in here. I mean, I can kind of see what he's trying to do here. He's going to do some cute little harass here, try and come back that way, but it is going to be quite difficult. And now Stork's main army is actually moving down towards the third once again here. Looks like he's actually going to get quite a few probe kills here with that +2 or +1 attack rather. He's 2-shotting those probes. But here we go, another big attack. 6 Colossi against just 4. An extra Archon there for Arya, but that's not going to mean much with the Colossus advantage that Stork has. And Stork just going after this Nexus, and here we go. Oh my god, Arya actually getting into a bad position there, losing one of his Colossus instantly. Wow, just running around the side of the Nexus there. That was not a good angle for him at all. He's trying to make use of his Nexus to try and block some of Stork's units, and calls Stork's units to kind of half of them to shoot the Nexus instead of his own army. But you can see on his face, he knows he's in big trouble here. And Stork moving forward with his army. Looks like all the support units are dead for Arya. He's just trying to micro these 3 Colossi, but the Nexus goes down as well. Stork is just going to crush through him. There's nothing he can do. Arya's 100% win rate in Pro League is about to turn into 50% here. And expect to see GG soon. He's down to 40 supply against 115. GG from Arya, and Stork takes game number 1 in the StarCraft 2 best of 3 here. Keeping Khan's hopes alive. And, well played by him. Arya couldn't handle it. He's just lost 50% of his win rate. Oh, that's quite a blow. Yeah, Storku! Now see, just imagine, if he had, like,